Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news out of North Phoenix, where a man is dead after a shooting. Phoenix police tell 12 News they responded to 16th Street in Union Hills at about 7:45 this evening and found a man who had been shot. Phoenix Fire also responded and pronounced the man dead. Police have a suspect in custody but say the investigation is still in its early stages. Now to Goodyear, where for nearly 9 hours today, crews have been working to recover the body of a construction worker who was buried when the trench he was working in collapsed. Thanks for joining us tonight. For 12 News at 10, I'm Mark Curtis. Caribe is off tonight. That recovery effort is still going on. It's happening near Lower Buckeye and Citrus Road. That's where we find 12 News journalist Bianca Bono. And Bianca, what's the latest?
Well, Mark, it is still incredibly active out here in Goodyear, and it has certainly been this way since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I want to show you what's happening right now. We're seeing trucks focusing in on that trench there and just removing dirt as quickly as they can. This construction worker has been buried in this trench, as I mentioned, since about 1 o'clock today. Initially, first responders were trying to rescue him, hoping he was still alive. That has shifted tonight as they continue to try and recover his body. An hours-long rescue mission turning into a recovery effort after a construction worker became trapped underground.
With that amount of dirt collapsing onto the individual, there was not any likelihood that we were going to be able to see or hear the individual.
Goodyear police say around 1:10 Monday afternoon, a crew was working in the area of 183rd Avenue and Lower Buckeye Road. A worker was in a trench at least 6 feet deep when it collapsed around him.
And what we encountered were several members of the construction crew actively working to try to rescue the individual who was trapped.
Fire crews jumped in to help, but there was a problem.
Every time we tried to remove dirt, additional dirt would kind of cave in, which is really what kind of hampered our efforts to rescue this individual.
The construction worker trapped and buried. Eventually, given the horrific circumstances, officials deemed this a recovery mission.
Where the individual who's actively trapped underneath in the hole, there is a lot of infrastructure here, power, water, gas lines, and so in order to really make sure that we're doing it safely, we're not putting anyone else in danger, we have really slowed down the operation.
As the day turned to night, the efforts to recover the construction worker's body continued. As first responders worked to navigate the utility lines in the area, Goodyear police are working to figure out exactly what happened that led up to this construction site nightmare. And officials have not yet said what this construction work was for, but noted there were several utility lines in the area where this man was working. Again, they are still trying to recover his body tonight. We're live in Goodyear. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Bianca, thanks. In national news tonight, terror in New York City as a gunman walks into a high-profile office building and opens fire, shooting and killing 4 people, including a police officer, before turning the gun on himself. The city's police commissioner says the gunman carried an M4 assault rifle as he moved through the high-rise on Park Avenue. That building is home to offices of several major companies, including the NFL and major financial firms, including Blackstone, KPMG, and JP Morgan. Tonight, city officials held a news conference revealing more about the gunman.
The shooter is believed to be Shane Tamora, a 27-year-old male with a Las Vegas address. The vehicle he exited is registered in Nevada to Mr. Tamora. Inside of that vehicle, officers found a rifle case with rounds, a loaded revolver, ammunition, and magazines, a backpack, and medication prescribed to Mr. Tamora.
The investigation is still in its early stages, with officials saying a motive is still unclear. Back in 2023, an East Valley Police Department shut down its own forensics unit because of several issues, including how it handled evidence. Now, after 2 years and a complete overhaul, it's back up and running. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly talked to the Tempe police chief today about what it's taken to get things back up and running. He joins us live in studio with more. Chase?
Mark, as you mentioned, from mishandling evidence to lack of training, Chief Kenneth McCoy tells me this overhaul was a priority that needed to happen.
They go to crime scenes to take photos, analyze DNA, and trace evidence.
Our unit responds to everything from criminal damage and burglary all the way up to things like major traffic accidents and death investigations.
Alyssa Grzeski is one of 6 crime scene specialists with Tempe Police Department. Everyone with the new and improved Forensic Services Unit had to undergo special training to get to this position.
It was very rigorous and hands-on.
They just started responding to scenes in June after Police Chief Kenneth McCoy shut down the unit for 2 years.
We identified some deficiencies in this unit.
McCoy says an audit found that they didn't have the right equipment to handle evidence, specialists didn't have proper training, and there was no set policy on how to conduct investigations, leading to McCoy pausing the unit and sending all of its evidence to the Mesa Police Department.
We wanted to ensure we had the best equipment and training, best practices as far as protocols in place.
Now, that's all changed. McCoy says they reworked the entire unit with new equipment, training, and updating its procedures and policies.
So really that was a big step for us, just getting those documents all in line and those protocols in place.
Still, with so many issues, I asked if it led to any other problems, including wrongful convictions in previous cases.
That was a concern, so we conducted an audit of over 400 cases and no cases were negatively impacted. We went back 3 years and looked at, like I said, over 400 cases to ensure that there were no cases compromised.
Now, the Mesa Police Department still handles evidence for Tempe. McCoy telling me that will continue until the end of the year when their contract expires. However, they will evaluate at that time to see if they will still need Mesa's help. We're live in the studio. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. We want to get to the latest on those 2 wildfires that continue to burn in the high country. The Dragon Bravo fire has now almost doubled in size, and firefighters have lost some of the containment they spent a month building. The fire at the north rim of the Grand Canyon has now grown to more than 50,000 acres and is only 13% contained. Arizona officials have asked for an investigation into why this fire was allowed to burn during the heat of the summer, instead of putting it out immediately. Meanwhile, about 24 miles to the north, the White Sage fire continues to burn. Crews are making more progress on this one, with officials reporting that it's now 83% contained. That's up 2% from Saturday. The White Sage is still one of the largest active fires in the country, burning more than 59,000 acres. All right, let's talk some weather now with meteorologist Chris Dunn. Chris, the heat is going to be the big focus this week, but any chance we're going to break any records?
We'll be close. We'll be way above normal, but not quite to record territory. And we didn't hit a record today, and that's a good thing because today's record, 121 degrees. That is one of only 3 days that Phoenix has ever topped 120. This is the second hottest day on record 30 years ago. Tomorrow, we start out in the upper 80s, 92 by 8 a.m. The sun comes up at 5:38. And we'll top out around 110. 111 is going to be our forecast high for tomorrow. 111, 111, 109, 111. You get the idea. It's going to be hot with above average heat. The normal high for this time of the year is 106. Any sign of the monsoon? Just a little sign with some light rain around Safford and some showers around Sierra Vista down in Cochise County. But most of that rain has been in New Mexico, and it continues to rain in New Mexico. The forecast for tomorrow across our state includes lots of heat. Casa Grande 109, there's that 111 for Phoenix, 99 in Sedona, even Flagstaff at 87, and just a few showers mainly far eastern Arizona. A look at your high-res futurecast and our exclusive monsoon meter coming up in just a bit. Mark?
All right, Chris, we'll see you in a few. Tonight, we're hearing from the owner of a Valley business that was destroyed after a speeding truck crashed into it, causing a fire. The driver was killed. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra is live at the scene in Phoenix with a look at the damage. Gabby?
Well, Mark, we've learned that driver was speeding through this intersection behind me. It was about this point when he lost control of his truck and smashed into the side of that building, leaving a giant hole and starting the fire. The fence now surrounds that severe destruction, and the business owner tells us that his operations will be somewhat stalled until they can fix or replace everything inside.
You know, it's a total loss in there.
Tim Phelps, the owner of iCoat Products, shows us inside his workshop that's now a charred wreck.
It's just a terrible hot mess.
All of these smashed boxes used to be full of epoxy.
All these things right here are dry color accents that you would put on concrete, but they were on that back wall.
iCoat specializes in making decorative concrete and epoxy resin products.
It's basically destroyed all of our inventory, a lot of our equipment, and we're having to remake the inventory right now in another facility.
Phelps got a call late Sunday night that a truck crashed into the side of his building and started a huge fire. Phoenix police say 25-year-old Jose Valenzuela Cota was speeding and lost control of the truck. He died on impact.
It's unfortunate all around. Nobody wants to lose their life.
This isn't the first time this business has been struck by a car. It's happened at least 2 other times.
But it's a really bad curve, and it seems to be a street that everybody speeds like crazy on.
Phelps is hoping the city does something to make the intersection safer, not just for his business, but other drivers.
It's just a really bad intersection. They do need to do something, whether it's barriers, whether it's another light, whether it's what, I don't know.
Until then, iCoat is moving forward with cleanup and hopes to be back in business soon.
Well, it hurts the business, definitely. You know, we're going to be, with some backup plans and things like that, we'll be back up operational within a week, but not 100%.
And police tell us they're still investigating this crash, including whether or not the driver could have been impaired. Out here, they still have a lot to clean up, and they say it could take a while. Live in Phoenix, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thanks.